welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a very interesting, informative video. This is to respond to the very popular question, how do I know if my hair is healthy? Now this is even a question that I asked myself. So what I went and did was research different articles, different websites to find out, how do I know if my hair is healthy? A lot of times right now people are focusing so much on hair length rather than hair health, and I think that's something that we really need to change our mindset on, because yeah, long hair is pretty, thank God, I have long hair naturally, but I think the main focus should be for all people, do I have healthy hair? Don't be so focused on hair length if your hair is, unhealthy, because actually you're being counterproductive, and eventually that length isn't going to last long if you have damaged ends and so forth. So I'm going to get into that later as this video progresses, but just to let you know, I will be looking down. I did take a whole page of notes, so this is actually researched. And if you guys have any things that I didn't mention or any comments, questions, put them in the comment section below, and I'm very interactive with my subscribers. I will definitely respond to them and give you guys more information. Like I said, I want this video to be based off of fact, based off of things that I've researched. I don't want to just be talking. I want to kind of be more, research based. So that's my goal. I'm gonna also share in the description box some articles where I got some of this information from. So be sure to like, subscribe, comment, interact. So how to know if your hair is healthy? The first thing that I have listed here is the amount of shedding your hair has. So ideally, your hair should be shedding anywhere between 100 to 200 strands per day. That may seem like a lot, but if you think about how much hair you have actually on your head, it's not as much. You shouldn't be that alarmed. But ways to know if you have normal shedding or abnormal shedding is it coming off in big chunks. You shouldn't have any bald spots coming through. You shouldn't have any thinning. It should be pretty consistent. Your hair should still have the same, I don't want to say mass, you know what I mean, but same volume. And that's one way to know if your hair is properly shedding. Now, be aware that if you do wear your hair in a protective style, which is pretty common, especially this time of year, you most likely will not be manipulating your hair as on a daily basis, which is fine. But when you do get to that point, whether it's at the end of the month, end of the week, whatever, you will see much more shedding, because every day that you didn't manipulate your hair, whether you combed it or whatever, is going to be 100, another day another 100, another day another 100 or 200, whatever, all coming out at once because you haven't done anything to your hair. So don't be alarmed when that happens once you take down your protective style, because that's completely normal. Like I said, if you have anything to be worried about, make sure that you're not having like bald spots, thinning, anything like that, okay? So the next thing that I found was minimal breakage. That's one way to know if your hair is healthy. Breakage, what does that look like? That looks like little pieces of hair that typically are found on your sink, if you're doing your hair in front of your sink, in the shower, if you're washing your hair. When you comb your hair, wash your hair, do any type of manipulation with your hair, that's typically when you're going to see the breakage. Now if you see that, that means your hair is not healthy. There's something going on, whether it's with your routine, how you're styling your hair, what products you're using. That's stuff to be mindful of. The next thing is soft, shiny hair. That's one way to know if your hair is healthy. Ideally, hair should be soft to touch, and it also should be shiny. And the reason why is because the cuticles of each strand should be smooth. When they're smooth, that means they're retaining the moisture that you're introducing to it, whether it's a leave-in conditioner, whether it's water, whatever. Your hair should be smooth. If your cuticle is actually open, it's going to be more rough to touch. And it's probably going to be more dry, because when it's open, the moisture that you introduce to it doesn't stay, it actually leaves. And they just distracted me. It actually leaves, and you typically have drier hair, and it's going to be more coarse to touch. Now, the reason why it should be shiny is for the same reason. When the cuticle is closed, it's actually able to reflect light more than it being open. So if your hair is dull, dry, brittle, those are all indication that your hair is not healthy, okay? Now, the next thing that I have is shrinkage. Now, this is actually my favorite one, because I feel like in the curly hair community, a lot of people, when they think of shrinkage, they have a very bad connotation about that. But shrinkage is actually a really good indication that your hair is actually healthy. Shrinkage means your hair is retaining moisture. It means that your hair has a really good elasticity, which is very important, because elasticity is actually the next one. I'm gonna get into that. Elasticity actually means that your hair is resistant to breakage. So see how all of these are all tying together? So a lot of people, like, they say, oh my god, the shrinkage is real, my hair is so short now. I mean, I'd rather my hair be short, but if need be, I can style it without my hair breaking off, which means I can retain length and, you know, eventually work on getting my hair to be longer. You know what I'm saying? Embrace your shrinkage. Do not hate your shrinkage, okay? Now, the next thing, like I said, is elasticity. So elasticity basically means it's your ability of your hair to be stretched and manipulated without it breaking. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're combing our hair, we're washing our hair, we're doing all sorts of things with our hair on a most likely weekly basis. That can be very damaging to your hair. So when your hair has elasticity, you can do all those things without it breaking off. Think of a rubber band, okay? If the rubber band is dry and brittle, you pull it ever so slightly, it's gonna break. Now, if it's moisturized, you can stretch that baby out and go back together, like the way, you know, it naturally was. And that's kind of how our hair operates, okay? So, the next thing is split ends. Now, this is something that I have to be mindful of, because even now I struggle with split ends. Like, I get trims ever so, you know, often, but split ends basically is an indication that your ends have ruptured, and what ends up happening is, you know, the split can travel up the hair shaft. It causes frizz, flyaways, stuff like that. So a way to fix that is trim your hair often. Be mindful of, you know, split ends. Little tiny individual knots are also something to be mindful of. Your hair is not in the healthiest state if you have split ends, because if you neglect your split ends, they will travel and you will see that your hair is very frizzy, hard to tame. You're going to be breaking off easier, you know what I mean? Okay, the next thing is porosity. Now, I'm going to do a video specifically on porosity and what that all means, but just to give you guys a little introduction about what it actually is, it's your ability for your hair to absorb moisture and also to retain moisture. So, porosity. Let me just say it very short and sweet. If you have high porosity hair, that means your hair is more damaged. That means your hair does not retain moisture. It means your hair is more porous, which pores, like pores on your face, like little holes, right? So when your hair is porous, it is releasing the moisture you're trying to put in it. It cannot retain it, it cannot hold it. Your hair can be more dry, frizzy, brittle, you know, more prone to breakage. So porosity. If your hair is highly porous, if it has a high porosity, it's not as healthy as if your hair has a lower porosity. Okay?
Side note, guys, just because you have a low porosity doesn't necessarily mean that you have healthier hair. High porosity and low porosity hair both have their downfalls, so to speak. You want to aim for a normal porosity hair. There's different ways to determine how porous your hair is, and I'll do a video further in detail about that, but I didn't want you guys to get confused when I said lower porosity hair is better. I just meant you want to aim for normal porosity.
Now, the final thing that I have here is your uniform curl pattern. Your hair should be pretty uniform from root to tip, consistently all around your head, because think of this. I've seen a lot of videos of women with curly hair that used to have a perm or relaxer, and the end of their hair gets straight. You see how my hair is right now? It's pretty curly from root to end. That's how your hair should be. Now, if your hair is curly and then at the end it starts to get straight, that means you have hair damage, you know, some type of hair damage, whether it's from heat, whether it's from, you know, physical damage, from combing, you know, styling your hair, some type of thing that you're doing, there's damage. So that's another way to see if your hair is healthy. So this is basically an introduction on all the ways to know if your hair is healthy or not. Like I said, I was personally curious on how to know if my hair is healthy. This is a video that I decided to do, not just for myself, but also to share with you all. Now, I want to say, based on all these characteristics, my hair is fairly healthy. Split ends is like one of my biggest issues on this list. And then, what else? Everything else is pretty good. I want to say maybe my porosity. Sometimes my hair is extremely dry no matter what I do with it. Right now it's actually doing better. And like I said, my goal right now is to get the most healthiest hair that I can do and can get. I believe that my hair can grow even longer than what it is. Right now, I don't know if you can see, I'll probably try to stand, but it's like right here, maybe like right below my chest. So yeah, so my goal right now, my hair goals are to have longer hair. I want waist length hair, honestly. I don't want my hair to be, you know, brittle. I don't want it to be dry. So this is this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I really enjoyed researching this all for you. Like I said, I'm going to put all the links of the articles that I read in the description box. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I love when you guys, you know, interact with me. I love interacting with you all. And if you guys haven't already, please subscribe. I appreciate all of you who have already subscribed. You guys are amazing. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video.